to get right back to it.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We got this.
Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line.
We got 4.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's get in there. 47 Mike. 47 Mike. Mike 47.
They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Check Mike 47. He's top 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Watch the twist. Whip.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 17. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
On 1st down, Herman, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Darnold now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. They'll keep it on the ground. Herman. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep ball.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. from the 38. Darnold, he'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, first and 10. Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 41 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
This is caught. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back to throw now on first down. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a give, right side. Atkinson. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw again on second down, Darnold. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll keep it on the ground. Atkinson. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll come out in the pistol. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Delayed game, offense.
Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a 1st down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 2. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
They're going to try and run. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Dancing to his left. This complete to Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll drop the throw. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd and 6. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. He lets this one fly toward the back. And it'll be intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Darnold. And he's going to go down again.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 96 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2nd and 5. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. The Bills on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a scoop.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And he gets this up to the... And here come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold, and that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're going to look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Back to throw. It's caught. Jones. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. He'll look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Buffalo defense, they get ready as they trot back on the field. They are holding serve here at home. The fans were into this one. They did what they needed to do.
And right now I'm just cupping my hand to my ear.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Darnold. Now the pressure gets to him again. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.